G'day, Ronnie from Great Annex Co. In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up your barbecue porch kits. So, two main components to the porch kit. There is the pole kit, and then there is also the canvas roof section that acts as the roof. When we go to put it up, we've got to ensure that we have the anti-flap kit already in place, and look for another video where we put the anti-flap kits in and follow that if you're not sure how to do those. But this video is from the point that the anti-flap kits are already in place and the porch needs to go on. With the pole kit, while we're here, there's particular poles for particular spots. We've got two corner poles happening, and one is higher than the other. So the small one will sit out the front, and the tall one will sit towards the caravan edge, and we're going to create a lean-to on the porch at the same pitch as the awning. Those two corner poles are spigot, and the only spreader bar within the kit is this double eye spreader bar. It has eye on both ends. That is the spreader bar that goes between those two. Now, the only other spreader bars we have in the kit are these two projectional spreaders. So on the projectional spreaders, they have the eye fitting that will sit over the corner pole this end, the same place as its spreader bar. And on this end, we have another spigot that will locate into some pre-drilled 8mm holes that we've put into the actual awning brace arm. One here and one high as well. Then the only other spreader bar that is in the kit, which is the last to go in, is the central curved roof rafter, and that will C-clip onto the projectionals. Okay, so let's start. We need to first feed the barbecue porch roof section into the anti-flap kit. And when it comes to feeding that in, always work from inside the awning. It's just easier to access the anti-flap kit. Open up your porch canvas until you come and see the black Keta spline that is fitted to the porch. This spline will fit directly to the anti-flap kit throat. And just make sure that you're facing inside outside correctly. Inside has got the velcros on it, the outsides do not. Now, when it comes to your anti-flap kit, there are three feeding throats that you could use. There's this one at the front, and there's two on the inside. We never use the front feeding throat for anything, so always disregard the one at the very front. We're only interested in the two inside, and for the porch, the one we're particularly interested in is the bottom one here. The top one would be the annex wall, but this is for the porch, is the bottom one. So we will just lift our canvas straight up to the throat, slide the Keta into that bottom feeding track of the anti-flap kit, and just slide it on down. Repeat the process to go up, and by a quick little slide, it's in place and hanging. Now, we need to bring the canvas over and above the awning arm. To make that easy, we will just simply bring each corner of the porch up to the other side, opposite side of the porch, to create this little triangle. And then that'll just allow us to bring that through a lot easier, and just pull on the canvas so it comes through and over the awning arm. That canvas now is ready to have the pole kit go to it. Now, when it comes to the pole kit, the easiest way, if you're doing it by yourself, is to pre-peg your ropes into the ground. What to do to get that in the right position: stand at the start of the awning, take two healthy steps out. That's approximately the distance of the porch, and then just in front of that spot, anchor a rope in place there. Obviously, I'm on concrete. I'm using these batteries that have a rope connected to them to simulate that step. However, when it comes time to putting it on, you start on the van side. What I want you to do is to grab the pole for the corner upright. I want you to grab its spreader bar, just ensuring that when you put this spreader bar on, the cam lock on the spreader bar is facing the ground. We're going to put this one on, and we're also going to grab this projectional pole, and we're going to put this one onto the corner and create that corner. Okay? Now that we have that in play, I can let that rest down. I'm going to grab the corner of my porch. I'm going to slide the eyelet straight over the top of those poles, and I'm going to stand it in the air. At this stage, nothing's connected, but it's all ready to go. Then I'm going to reach down to my rope, grab the loop, connect it on, and then I'm going to give this some height. With that in play, you can kind of balance it at this point to help control it. So the next thing is, I'll get you to come in. We're going to take this projectional spreader bar up into its hole. So what we're going to do here is open up the cam lock just by pulling down. I'm going to send the spigot into the hole in the arm, and now I'm going to put some pressure through the clamp and get that into place. At this point, that now has been connected and will stand itself there quite easily. Now we're going to create the next corner. So what we'll do here is grab that corner pole, grab its projectional pole. We're going to bring this spreader bar on top of this leg. We're going to bring the projectional pole on top also. Now we're here, we grab the corner of the porch, we throw that on. Now what I'm going to do is actually pull this spreader bar across to get a semi-tensioned roof. Not fully tensioned, just enough to take the sag out of it. And now that I'm here, I will grab my rope straight onto the top of it and give it some pressure. That will then again hold. And the same as the other side, we're now going to use the projectional pole straight into its hole on the awning. Put some pressure through there and lock it up. That essentially is the base frame erected. I will now put more pressure through this front track just to get the tension through the material. And now there's a series of Velcros that will come around these spreader bars and lock onto the kits. By doing that, we're now going to stop the wind flapping it, and we're going to get it nice and sturdy to handle the wind. Now that's in place, you can always go through now and just do another little tighten up of the spreaders just to ensure that you've got good pressure through it all. Ensure that it's nice and firm, and then do your Velcros up. Once that's done, essentially that's up right now, but what we don't want to do is see any water belly. So our last pole, which is this curved roof rafter, the same as what you'd see under the awning itself. Instead of having the standard rafter fittings, we put a C-clip in one end and a C-clip in the other. And now what we're doing is pushing the C-clip straight onto the projectional poles. We're giving it a little bit of pressure apart, locking that up, and now we've got the gentle hip in the roof to stop any water belly. This is how you put your barbecue porch up. If you've got any questions, feel free to email the team or reach out on our socials, and we'll be happy to answer the questions for you. Thanks for listening.